Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's old Pappy back with another one, and how's everybody doing out there? Hopefully you're doing great. We're all holding on while we're weathering this COVID crisis here, and I thought, you know what, with summer coming on, why don't we try out something that will bring the heat? And so we're going to be looking at these new Flameburst weapons. Particularly we have the Incinerator on the top, and I believe it's the Scald on the side, the heavies and the lights here, and I have it equipped with a Hawk. And I'm going to kind of show you just a little bit of footage here, showing you kind of what it's good for, what it isn't good for, and then give you a review at the end of the video in terms of whether I think it's actually worth your hard-earned resources. So anyway, let's get right into it here. Now, one of the things you need to know about this weapon is that it's a combo of, say, a Columbus rocket and, say, the Embers, per se. It does flame damage, so it will damage shells. And it can hit people around corners. So I'm trying to corner shoot that guy. It looks like I didn't really need to. He ran out in front of me anyway. But that is something that you can kind of do with this weapon. Let's jump into a different screen here, and we'll just kind of show you a different game. Now I'm going to jump in here with my Hawk. And look at this, even with the change in the nerfing of the Hawk, it's still super powerful against Titans. And look at this, I can finish that off with my burst weapons. But keep an eye here for this little piece of footage. I'm going to show you a few snippets before we get into an actual game. So you can kind of see the damage, but there's a guy above me here. And look at this. The question is, like, he's going to kill me in 2 seconds here. And so why am I showing you this footage? Well, I'm showing it to you because I wanted to question whether or not these are actually viable as brawling weapons, right? Like, can they be used as actual brawling weapons, or are they best used hanging back, staying out of harm's way, and just kind of pecking away and doing damage from a distance? And so based on what happened with that last encounter, my weapons were no match whatsoever with I think it was, what was that? That was an Ojun with the lightning weapons on the top there. And he melted me in 2 seconds. And one of the things you're going to find with this setup is that I don't have them totally MK2 maxed level 12, although they're probably around level 4 or 5 now. But I am having a real hard time sort of doing that instantaneous catastrophic damage. So let's see what it does here. So he's just phase shifted. It's another problem. Now the weapon does reload while you shoot, but let's kind of compare. And there's the other trick of this weapon. You see here, I only have 500 meter range. The guy I was shooting at has 600 meter range, and so all he had to do was dip back a couple hundred meters, and he basically was able to hit me without me being able to retaliate. And so that's another drawback for these weapons. Now I know it's kind of painting a bit of a doom and gloom picture here, so you can kind of see there, look, I did take that guy's health down pretty good, but at what cost? Right? Like, at what cost? Because I killed the guy and then I died. And let's try. Now we're going to get into a real game now. I'm going to show you the whole game. So if you stick around to the end of the video, you're going to see a little bit of footage here from these Scalds and Incinerators, and then you're going to see me try a few other different robots just for fun. And let's just kind of tiptoe back in here and let's see. So I managed to take that guy down. That wasn't that bad. Come around back here. And I want to talk a little bit about these things, about what maybe they are good for. And so I think really they are hit and hide weapons. They're certainly not brawling weapons, number one. So if you're going to run up against somebody with, say, the ice weapons or, cataclysms or cataclysms, whatever, the lightning weapons, stuff like that, if you go toe-to-toe with them point blank, probably you're going to die. Now this is another great example. Look at this. This guy's just hammering me. Look at my health. See, I had no chance there. I didn't even manage to take down his Aegis shield before I was dead. And so while we jump into the rest of the game here, and thanks a lot for sticking around if you do stick around, I'll give you my final assessments right now on those weapons, and then if you do want to watch to the end, you can kind of see me try a bunch of different builds here. But my thoughts on those weapons and I know that some people are going to hate me for this, you know how sometimes they bring in weapons and they're super insanely OP and everybody thinks they need to be nerfed? I actually think that these are actually a bit weak and that they probably should get buffed. Now, I actually said the same thing on the test server as well, honestly, to be truthful. I wasn't sure why they seem so weak, especially when there are so many other mid to longer range options that are so much more powerful, that pack such a punch, really, is what I'm saying. And so, if you're trying to sell these weapons to new players, I mean, gosh, even just look at this right here. I'm just using some Coronas here, and I really did a lot of damage there. I took down that guy's health really, really well with these Coronas. Probably would have been better off using my Coronas, in terms of, if you're talking about comparing damage versus damage here, the Coronas probably did more damage than the Flameburst weapons at the moment. Now, the Flameburst weapons, to be fair, they do have one mechanism that it makes them a bit special, and that is that just like when you try to lock down somebody and the lock accumulates over time and eventually you get locked, this actually, the flame accumulates over time and suddenly there's an explosion, and basically it does a sudden burst of damage. Now, here's my thoughts on that. While good in theory, one of the problems with that is that it actually allows your enemy more time to be alive and, ergo, more time to actually kill you while you are waiting for that burst damage to really take hold. And hey, look at that, I just got myself it's kind of crazy, I just got myself a rampage here with this build using old Coronas. Oh my god, I just got a godlike, wow. This is insane. Anyway, and now I'm getting hammered everywhere, so I better get the heck out of here. I'll come around the corner again. I think I'm going to die any minute here, but right now I think I have two of each. I have two of the heavies, two of the mediums, and two of the lights. Some of them I've only brought up to level 12. Others, I paid the $500 per weapon just to test it. But the question is, would I go and spend all of that gold to make this a priority in today's meta right now? Because I mean, especially the cost of promoting your weapon to MK1, like 500 gold per weapon, that's pretty expensive. So no, I don't know if I would do that right now. I'd love to hear from anybody out there if they have a different opinion, though, because, obviously, to each his own. But for me, I'd like to see just a little bit more damage, before I go and probably promote the rest of my weapons. I think I have maybe 3 of them promoted now, 4 maybe, but I'm not going to promote the rest of them until I see a little bit of change, maybe in one of the future updates. Although I will keep maxing it, and I will get to MK2, and then maybe I'll do another video later on and talk to you guys about, is there a difference or not? Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and if you do want to watch the end, that's super awesome. And I got to apologize at the end. I have my own personal score, but for whatever reason the game was glitching. It was really weird, and so it would not actually display the full scores for both teams. It just kept spinning and spinning and spinning, so I gave up after a while, to be honest. But anyway, love to hear from you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Obviously, tell your friends, share, like, and subscribe if you're interested. And until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.
You